a million, billion, trillion stars, but I'm down here low, fussing over scars on my soul, on my soul, on my soul, on my soul, on my soul. I am so infinitesimal. Oh, they say it started with a big bang, but they say it came out of a small thing. Lately, I'm feeling like a big bang, 'cause I've been making something out of nothing. Millions and billions and trillions of stars, but I'm down here low, fussing over skies on my soul, on my soul, on my soul, on my soul, on my soul. I am so infinitesimal. Oh, they say it started with a big bang, but they say it was really just a small thing. Strangely, I'm feeling like a big bang, 'cause I've been making mountains out of concaves. Do you ever really think about the grains? Every little one's got a million things. Every little bit's got a billion bits. And that ain't it. No, that ain't it. And did you know that when you really get close, nothing really touches, bro, it just kind of floats. So when you think it might just come to blows, just so you know, it won't, because it can't, bro. Billion, trillion stars, but I'm down here low, fussing over skies on my soul, on my soul, on my soul, on my soul, on my soul. I am so infinitesimal. Oh, they say it started with a big bang, but they say it was really just a small thing. Strangely, I'm feeling like a big bang, 'cause I've been making something out of nothing. Like my soul, just like my soul. You think it's so infinitesimal.
Good evening. How we doing? How we doing? Yeah, no, I'm literally just subjecting you to whatever the fuck I'm listening to at the moment, which happens to be Mother. Fucking hell. Okay. I have not kept up with the Onision drama at all. There is the disclosure, like right from the off. It's one of those little blind spots for me, because I saw everyone covering it like a few years ago, and I was like, fuck, that's a lot of shit that I want to get involved in. But it recently popped up again because of the court case, and I saw this on Twitter, and I was like, I really like court cases. Okay, there's a reason why I got into LawTube, and I've got bits and pieces to help some stuff together, but TLDR of the Onision stuff is essentially Onision was a content creator, is a content creator, sort of. Quite controversial, quite weird. Had a load of stuff with a load of different women and particular fans. Had like a minor living with him, if I recall correctly. There was a load of stuff with Chris Hansen and a laptop. The whole thing got like fucked into the ground. But Onision's not like a stranger to ending up in a courtroom. And it seems like the recent one is like some of the biggest lawsuits, and it's just been a complete shit show. So Repsion's done like a condensed version of the court proceedings. It's taken out a load of the like pauses and kind of gone to the highlights of this judge being like, what the fuck are any of you doing? And I saw a little bit of this and I was like, oh, that's funny. And then I saw everyone covering the Bowblax stuff today and I was like, I don't want to talk about this. I want to hear other people talk about it. So I was like, I don't know, I'll go live with this. And I don't know if I'm doing stuff tomorrow because the new Text Talks Battletech comes out. And I might just be like, I don't know. I might fucking restream it. I don't know. But I thought we'd go over stuff. at like fucking outside my normal time. Give you guys a little bit of extra content. I did just have a quick look through some of Twitter. I just literally searched Onision Court. This is how fucking lazy I was with this, okay? This is not how I end content. I'm not pretending. But this is like for Jay Aubrey back in 2020. Everyone on Twitter coming together to collectively dunk on Onision's court fit is probably the highlight of my entire week. I'd completely forgotten. But there's been a couple of like general tweets that have come out. Where's this one? Okay, so just to give an example, this again back in January of 2020. This is Repson describing how Onision walked and behaved in the courtroom is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. This is true react, because I haven't seen a lot of this shit yet.
But one of the most interesting thing is how he walked in the courtroom, and allow me to demonstrate, because I think an example is he had this like straunch like this.
What the fuck?
You know? He walked in and
I'm in a level with you. I think the last thing I saw from Onision was right at the end of this fucking drama where he's in a field screaming and like about how like it's all a game. Oh, they took his Patreon away. I remember they took, gotta take the Patreon away. Shit.
had his
Okay, so I'll level with you guys as well. I looked at this and I was like, if it's going to be court cases, this might actually be something I cover. So this is my jumping into the content, because if there's going to be a decent amount of court case drama, that's funny. That's funny to me. I think one of my favorite ones actually, when Baked Alaska ended up in court over the January 6th stuff, the audio stuff for that got leaked. And there were a couple of streams going over it. That was pretty funny, because it was like the whole thing was Baked Alaska turned up and pled guilty for the plea deal, and then he was like, yeah, but I didn't actually do anything, and the judge was like, okay, well, I'm not going to accept a guilty plea from you if you don't think you're guilty. I'm like, fuck, man, like, how dumb can you be? Jesus.
Paperwork and went like this. And he was kind of with a slouch. And he made some, like, really loud sighs. And his overall demeanor was just like, I have this in the bag. The best way I can describe it is very, very pompous. But one of the most interesting thing is...
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so going back to, like, 2023, March, it appears Sarah has filed a lawsuit on Onision. I know, like, so these court cases are the lawsuit court cases, if I understand it correctly. People can correct me if I'm wrong. That's fine. But yeah, it seems to have taken a decent amount of time for this to actually reach any kind of fruition. But I did find one thing which just gives, I think, maybe a bit of a helpful overview from about 9 months ago, where Repsion is again getting taken to court.
Gregory, Onision, what are you doing, dude? What are you actually doing right now? I just got home from a long day, okay? And I have a legal notice. I guess I'm going to probably be going to court again with Onision. Go figure. This is happening again. This happened in 2019. But you want to go down this route again, I will be happy to go down.
I mean, imagine covering someone so much that they're just suing you constantly. Fuck. It's not. Is it worth it? I suppose I can afford it. Fuck it.
Down this route. I guess this will be the final retirement year of 2024. I announced that I was retiring sometime in 2024 with content, and now December 5th, literally, which was my birthday, my 32nd birthday, I get a notice that, oh my god, he's listing me in his bankruptcy case. For those of you who don't know, Onision is being sued by two different parties in two different states. In those
Okay, so this is that I think is relevant. I think that's relevant to where we currently are. I did hear like Nick talk a little bit about this on Chris's stream that he's just had, where basically they do like a breakdown, and Chris did a bit of a breakdown where it's basically like it's multiple cases from multiple people that have all sort of landed on the table of one judge, who is kind of like No one even really told him about this. I get the impression it's all been sat in like status for a period of time, and it seems like the legal counsels just have not followed procedure at all or done the chance. Which again makes for a very entertaining court case when everyone's lawyer's fucking incompetent. Great, top tier.
2 states. He filed for bankruptcy, claiming that he's broke, has no money, and he listed me along with Blair White, along with Sky, his original wife, along with Chris Hansen, along with Adriana, one of his previous exes, along with Billy, another ex of his, and some other names that I'm not super familiar with. But I
God, the balls of the. I'd like to sue my A-logs for bankruptcy. I love the word bankruptcy almost as much as I love the frame's terms of service violation. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel for the judge, Rocky. I feel for the judge.
I've blurred their last names, but this is the document, okay? I don't know what he's doing here. If he's thinking that, hey, I'm going to file bankruptcy so that these people can, A, never sue me, because a lot of people think that if you file for bankruptcy, it can protect you from a lawsuit. That's not necessarily true. It definitely delays it. But first of all, I didn't even get a proper first-class mail sent to me. I don't know what address he sent it to, because I've been moving all around in the last, 10 years. I've had, 6...
Have you read any of Onision's novels? I haven't, Q Hood. Yeah, as I say, so a lot of the Onision stuff is a bit mystical to me. If I'm gonna cover the court cases, if they're funny, I'll cover them, and I'll actually do a bit more work piecing stuff together. So bear with me, because I'll be honest with you. There's an element of the law there with what happened with the laptop and Chris Hansen that is very entertaining, and I watched from the sidelines. I didn't delve deeper than that, but I did find that stuff pretty funny. And the fact that Chris Hansen ended up involved was really fucking hilarious to me. I use the term novel very loosely. Based. Right, okay, at least everyone in the court will get a good show. I mean, this is the thing. This is what I loved about Rakita's arraignment, right? I need to dive back into some of that shit as well, actually. We need a, full breakdown and retrospective. It's been so slow-moving that I've kind of just waited until, everything, hits and I can put together, a solid piece of content for you guys, rather than just sitting here every night going, then this happened.
6 or 7 different addresses. I haven't received this document in the mail yet. But if I do, I'll make sure that I print it on my wall and display it for everybody to see, because this is insane. Or if he thinks... my other option is he's filing for bankruptcy, he's listing me and Blair White and all these other past exes of his because he thinks that we owe him money, maybe? I actually don't...
I think Chris Hansen was just involved because he had the most reliable resources contact-wise. Yeah, I mean, it's always the same thing with involving real-world people in internet content. It's like, well, these people have the ability to get to things, but internet drama is so impenetrable most of the time. And usually the celebrities or people of renown who are prepared to get involved are so discredited in the media world. It's actually a bit of a blunt sword, actually. People are sort of, well, this person knows what they're doing. It's like, well, if they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't be coming in talking about a fucking internet drama case, would they? They'd have bigger fish to fry. It's like when you get somebody who's really old and they've built businesses in the 1960s and now they're sort of demented. They're on the board of directors. They're fucking drooling into their coffee. There was the guy in Australia named Mike I used to watch for Onision stuff. Yeah, I mean, again, actually, just gather stuff, send it to me. I think we'll probably be going through this. I'll get Jenny onto it when she's back from she's having a little weekend getaway. So I have some. I love DSP's coverage of Rakita. DSP's been like DSP just survives everyone. I don't understand how. I don't understand. I just remember no one really liking Chris Hansen even before, but he had a lot of law enforcement legal content, so it's worth a chance. Yeah, I mean, again, people built entire careers off the Onision drama. And it's an interesting one as well, because the Onision drama in particular is a fascinating example of why you probably shouldn't build content off one thing. This is going to happen with the Mr. Beast stuff, by the way. Like, all the people right now who are building, like, platforms of covering just Mr. Beast stuff, the updates, the ongoing story, like, farming that audience. The minute this ends, they're fucked. They are actually fucked. It happens every time. And you get massive fucking drop-offs.
Don't know. I genuinely don't know the context of this outside of notice of bankruptcy case filing. I don't know if he's going to try to pull these people into court. I don't know. I don't know how to process this. I don't know what this is, other than it's a bankruptcy record and I'm listed in it. So my guess, because I'm classified as a debtors, right? I'm a debtor somehow, which I thought that means that they would owe me money. Well, normally if you're a debtor, if you're a debtor, typically you're the person like suing someone else, or is he trying to sue me? Look, I'm not a legal expert here. I'm not a legal expert in bankruptcy, believe it or not. I don't know. I had a bankruptcy lawyer.
Okay, we got the basic idea. Now, This is you got it down to like 30 minutes. I'm pretty impressed. Fucking hell. What was the last court thing I looked at? Was it the Lyo thing? I think it was Lyo getting taken to court by Buttons. I think that was actually the last one.
23-5523, unknown party versus Google LLC et al. Will counsel please?
Oh, I forgot he's like suing Google as well. Oh, Google's somehow involved. I just fucking hell. A panel, time for me to start drinking. God, could you imagine?
State your appearances for the record, starting with the plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lisa Haba for the plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Margaret Maybe for the plaintiff as well.
Hi. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Amit Gressel for defendants Google and YouTube.
Hi.
Why? Why have you got all three of you in one fucking case? Come on. Surely that's not right. Surely somebody at some point in the last like year to 2 years should have sat down and said, okay, well, this is just fucking this clearly isn't right. I mean, you got Google there. It's fucking Google. How is Google fucking this up? How does that even happen?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Brian Willen, also for the Google and YouTube defendants.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am James Jackson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am.
Okay.
So today was the very first day of court between Jackson versus Sarah versus Regina versus Google. And it was very, very underwhelming.
I don't know much about Repsion. The only thing I know is that every time I see him, I feel like he should be part of like a Linkin Park tribute band. And that's it. That's my sole take on Repsion. It's not positive, it's not negative, it's just like, you look like you should be in a Linkin Park tribute band. That's literally all I've got.
However, there is some interesting things that happen in here, and I have condensed the video even further down to what it was. I've taken out a lot of the pauses and a lot of the big no talking sequences, so you can get right to directly to the point here. Essentially, what happens in this is the judge chews everybody out. That's the simplest way I can express this. Legally, everybody kind of screwed themselves up in a way, even Onision. The judge goes at everybody here for a procedural issue because
you should force Mitch to watch this. I was tempted to go and grab the NR boys, but it's a bit short notice, and I don't know if people are around tonight.
Things were not done properly in the court system with two separate cases in two different states. And there was an issue of consolidation of where cases that are both related need to be combined into one and then sent over to, I guess there was 2 different judges in 2 different states dealing with 2 different cases. But this overall, the judge does explain this pretty clear cut on what everybody kind of did wrong in this situation. It is kind of frustrating to see Onision kind of smirk and try to bite his lip, try not to laugh, because all the lawyers kind of screwed themselves in this. Not in
I don't know. Look, I don't know what you're meant to say. I don't know what you're meant to say. Then I mean, yeah, he's going to. Fucking hell. Hey, Lately, how you doing? Oh, fucking hell. And Rage. How we doing, people? Listen, it's quite nice to be able to randomly go live and have any of you fucking turn up on a fucking Friday. I'm touched. It's
not in a major way.
Listen, we're doing better than Bowblax's members stream, okay? Which actually, no, that's not true. Bowblax's members stream has now been watched by more people than will ever watch, like, a Bowblax stream. Fuck, he's hit the wall.
Way, like, it's not going to be like life changing, like the case isn't just going to just go away because they messed up in these minor things, but it is, things weren't done properly, and in the legal system you have to do things in this.
Chris, hey buddy, how you doing? Check out Nick's tweet. Interesting. Give me a second. Tommy C has given me these messages for release. Full disclosure, this is probably the worst one. Bowblax hasn't spoken to Tommy since January and revealed his fake diagnosis in July. There was no meltdown to Tommy, and he wasn't even aware one happened with me and Alex. To Tommy, this was completely out of the blue. Bowblax apologized for everything over the years, using his fake BPD diagnosis as an excuse. That's everything from fainted and Instagram woke up to current day. He wasn't responding to a manic meltdown in July because Tommy wasn't aware one had even occurred. He said sorry for everything over the years, lied about a BPD diagnosis, and claimed he was getting help. Totally unhinged behavior. This was the dagger Tommy forgot he had. That's how little they speak. Oh no. Hey man, I know we are cool, but I want to apologize for my weird behavior over the years. I had to go to ER and not diagnosed with Tommy must have been so fucking confused. Fuck. Oh, it's so funny, right? I had to go to ER and not diagnosed with BPD. That's why I had outburst and was weird, but I'm getting help. Tommy, you're good. Just take care of yourself. I just wanted to let you know I respect you and your grind. Thank you, man, and congrats on 50k on Shot from the Point too. I know you grinded hard for that. I shouldn't have been a dick about it. Thanks. I'm taking the week off of drama, but if you'd like, I'd love to have a one-on-one chat with you and shoot the shit sometime in August. Yeah, when I get back, something can be worked out. Awesome. And it's not for content, just to improve co-worker relations and be chill. Okay, can I level with you guys? Chris, for example, Chris is not my co-worker. Okay, he's not my colleague. He is another creator. That's it. No one in the art world refers to people as co-workers and colleagues unless you work for like the same media company. Okay, stop calling people co-workers. Fuck, it's so frustrating because it implies a level of like relationship that none of us are at. Okay, there's none of this, like, there's not water cooler talk or like the same like you know, we're all being paid and we've all got like similar experiences, like working under one boss. That we're essentially independent freelancers, okay? At best, they are people in the same sector as you, or like sector contacts. That's it. It's so frustrating hearing people talk like this, because it's people who've never really had a job in the real fucking world, and it's really annoying. Yeah, but Beckett, you're a hobbyist. Chris is a professional. Chris isn't a... Listen, Chris has a day job. Chris has a fucking day job. That's why Chris is based. Because he touches grass. Have you noticed this? Have you noticed the content creators who are sanest are the ones who, like, fucking go outside and interact with the real world? Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm gonna lose my mind. Right, okay. Queenman's my co-worker. Could you fucking imagine? Listen, I would have a better response from like people if I started actually calling Queenman my girlfriend to if I started calling Queenman my co-worker. Okay? It's just levels of fucking cringe that really seep into my soul. Oh yeah, no, I met our chief executive, Nick Diorio, recently. Fuck off. Come on. Oh, I'm so glad that Oggie's back from his sabbatical. Fuck. Jesus. Tommy, laughing out loud. Just fucking Twitterverses. I love that everyone's stolen the Twitterverses shit. It makes me so happy. Because, like, again, I don't feel pressured in the same way to keep doing it. Even though people are like, you should do another one. I'm like, I'm good. Who's HR? Keemstar. Keemstar is HR. That's why nothing ever fucking changes. HR is Keemstar and Tommy C for commentary community. That's it. That's the reality. Do you understand why things are so fucked up? Got a problem? Go talk to Tommy C or Keemstar. You need an optics check for your quarterly report video essay. Talk to Nick Diorio. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'm actually just. Shut the fuck up, Chris. They unironically are. Stop drinking, bro. For fuck's sake. Right. I know you thought I'm a clout goblin, but I'm not. Lamau laughing. Wait, fuck. Sorry. It's not Lamau. Laughing out loud. We are good. See you later, man. Thanks for being kind. Tell me, we are good. Have been. We are good. Have been. Don't worry. Thumbs up. Awesome. Tommy CW. Laters. Then we got a tweet. If Tommy C is not paid what he is owed from his work at Lolcow during July, I will do everything in my power to blow up the story and force him to pay Tommy. If Keem doesn't or does pay you by the end of this week, let me know. Fuck off. Oh my god. Oh, Connor's been fucking cooking. Sorry for everything over the years. I had BPD, and that's why I was crazy. And that's been and that being a completely lie is insane. Like, when Chris was like streaming, like Bowblax was like, when did I say that? When did I say that about that? I recorded the call because I was fucking like sus on lyrics, and like I was like, he literally told us that in the call. That's why he was like, and that's why I did it. And like Connor's like, he's lying. What the fuck? And Nick's like, yeah, look at chat. Okay, Connor, let's fucking lie. What the hell? What the hell, bro? Right, okay. You successfully derailed my stream, Chris. Congratulations. Well done, bro. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Okay. Okay, what are we doing? We got... Is there more? Chris, do you want to come talk about Onision? Do you want to come talk about the Onision stuff? You can help me make sense of any of this. Dude, he literally kept trying to lie about all the convos he had with him. Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is. I mean, what else can he do? So that's fucking it. It's the only option. Dino's doing well. Putting the dino on the mic arm. Can't. About to walk out to get drunk. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I can see where your priorities are. Haven't heard Onision in a long time. Well, you're about to. So we're gonna go back to a court case. We're gonna go back to a court case. Thank you for that distraction. That's fucking banging. Right, okay. Oh. Let's fucking go.
Very, very delicately, and you have to do things in a specific pathway in order to achieve things legally by the book. And this judge that we have here is a by the book judge, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So here it is in its entirety.
I can't with fucking non-legal people commentary. Fuck me. I'm so grateful he cut this down, but I'm trying really hard. Because it's like, okay, so there's obviously a thing where you cover somebody a lot, you get invested, and you go fucking crazy, which is what, well, I mean, it's part of what happened to Bowblax with Tip Stage, but, you know, even more fucking insane. Drinking makes your content better, everyone. Listen, I think Chris Drunk streams are very funny. I hope he goes live later. It was nice. It was genuinely nice to see Chris with a little panel going over Bowblax stuff. It's cute. It's cute. Didn't invite me. Fucker. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know that Chris knows where the content is, and it's Smaggle.
I requested this. I was at work all day, so I didn't get to see this live. I've blurred all the names just for prosperity's sake, for privacy, even though this is a publicly available court case that is ongoing.
Does Chris do sober streams? I don't want you to use my microphone. Fuck off.
So this is all
yeah, Chris does sober streams. It's just very hard to tell the difference.
Public record, so if you want to file a privacy complaint on me, Onision, for posting this, by all means, go ahead. It shouldn't go through. But yeah, so yeah.
Mr. I'll call you Lucas Jackson to distinguish you from James Jackson. You were cutting in and out, so we didn't hear you. You want to try to make your appearance again?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am Lucas Jackson, also pro se.
Afternoon. Okay, so
I can already tell this is going to be fucking painful, isn't it?
as you all know from the order I issued, I'm in sort of a state of confusion about the procedural status of this case. And that's what I want to limit our discussion to today. So let me make sure I understand.
That's not good. That's your judge coming in and being like, listen, guys, I have no idea what the fuck any of you are doing. It's not a good way to start a court case. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
The timeline here, the procedural timeline. So Gina filed a case in Florida. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Hey, Lego Law Life and Libations. It's never a good one if the judge is confused. How you doing? Is that God of Law or Valhalla or Wendy? How you guys doing?
Okay, so that's the first thing that happened in federal court, at least.
Yes.
Okay, Regina
Okay,
files
hold on, let me go
in here, the procedural timeline. So Gina filed a case in Florida. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so
Okay. Do I need to take notes? Do I? Fuck it. I'm gonna get a notepad up. I'm gonna get. This is God of Love. No, I know it's God of Love. Okay, so what would? I'll wind it back. and we'll go for we'll go. Oh fuck. Well okay. What? What case? What the fuck? See, unfortunately, unlike God of Law, I'm not a professional lawyer. So actually, I'm not really sure what the fuck is going on. I need to put that on screen. I got my little Discord window, I think. Bring you down here. Okay. So, thank you for bearing with me. What we doing?
About the procedural status of this case. And that's what I want to limit our discussion to today. So let me make sure I understand
Me too.
the
Come on.
timeline here, the procedural timeline. So Gina filed a case in Florida. Is that right?
Yes, correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's the first thing that happened in federal court, at least?
Yes,
Okay, Regina files a federal case in Florida against the Jacksons.
it was against the Jacksons and against the YouTube defendants.
So it's Regina versus Jacksons, and I'll just call them.
Versus Jacksons and YouTube. There's. God. Listen, I don't know what chance I meant to stand. The judge doesn't even fucking understand the case.
Google in Florida. And then
Yes, Your Honor.
Sarah files a lawsuit in federal court in Michigan.
Correct, the Western District.
Okay. Against
The same parties.
Jacksons and YouTube, Jacksons and Google. All right, in Michigan. And then the Florida case gets transferred to the Northern District of California, right?
That's correct. Yes.
And then sometime after that, the Sarah's case from Michigan gets transferred to the Northern District of California, right?
Yes, correct.
And the Regina's case that came from Florida got assigned to Judge Donato.
Yes.
And Sarah's case that came from Michigan got assigned to me.
Okay, so Gina's case goes to other judge. I know you guys can't fucking read this, but like, fuck, my note taking's getting worse. So I'm getting more retarded as time goes on, guys. Okay, I've got you got to bear with me. You got to bear with me. This is so bad. How the fuck did this even happen? Good lord, I'm very interested to see where this goes. Listen, if this spirals, we need to do a law stream, like a judge stream on this. Basically, I think that needs to be the play. We can do a legal stream together. It'll be fun. You can explain to me how badly everyone has fucked up. I'll look forward to that. Okay. Right. Gina case goes to other judge. Sarah's case goes to this judge. Fucking go.
Correct.
Okay. And then did anybody file a notice of related case in either of these cases?
We have prepared one. It has not been filed yet. We're having.
Okay. Notice of related case prepared but not filed. Wait, how? So wait, how have you ended up in a position where we're all in the same fucking courtroom together then? By the way, I changed my name on my other channel from the God of Law back to its original name, which is Making Law Simple. Awesome. I saw you covering something the other day, and I was sat watching a little bit of it and post in chat, but it looked good. It's nice to see you doing well, man.
Having a lot of trouble getting in touch with counsel representing the Jacksons. We've attempted.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. You don't need to be in touch with counsel representing the Jacksons to file a notice of related case. I mean, the point of filing a notice of related case is to notify the court that there are two judges with similar or identical cases, right? To allow them to consider whether the cases should be adjudicated by the same judge. So when did the Regina case arrive?
I don't understand how they've ended up in this position. Like, I know that I'm gonna keep coming back to this. I don't understand how you can have multiple parties, some of which with very professional lawyers seemingly, in what is essentially quite a high-profile case, and for it to be fucked up this badly. Like, how do you do this? Oh man, not the judge telling the lawyer how to do their job. Yeah, I mean, I find it really interesting, and this is one of the things I liked watching about with watching Rakita cover, is you can see you can see that him talking about like why it is such a bad idea to fuck up and look incompetent. I think this is something that like I saw when I was like watching a bit of Barnes's stuff as well. There was like accusations that Barnes wasn't particularly fucking professional. I think the judges were talking to each other behind the scenes, and this judge held the status conference and said, "What the fuck? Why aren't these cases all combined?" Okay, that makes sense. That would make sense. Fuck me. I'm having trouble following this, but so is everyone appearing in court online legal systems are a mistake? Listen, actually, fucking I've thought this. Video call shit like this may actually be a mistake, because it seems harder to control a courtroom, it seems harder to control etiquette. And you see it go wrong too fucking much. I can see the convenience of it, but I'm not sure this is the direction.
From Florida to the Northern District of California.
One moment. It was transferred in October of 2023.
Okay, so and when did the Sarah case arrive from Michigan and end up in my court?
It would have been around the same time, but I'll confirm for you. October of 2023, Your Honor.
Okay, so both cases. Wait, what?
Okay, so Florida to the Northern District of California.
One moment. It was transferred in October of 2023.
Okay, so and
So
when
both-
did the Sarah
so
case
both
arrive
cases
from Michigan and end up
Were
in
transferred at the
my
same
court?
time.
It would have been around the same time, but I'll confirm for you. October of 2023, Your Honor.
And so these two cases have been sitting in our court for a year, and nobody has notified us of the two related cases that are.
Hey, yeah, no, we just sort of sent them over, Your Honor. We did it exactly the same time, coincidentally, and then no one thought to mention it. We just sort of haven't done nothing since for a year. It's very hard to do something via Zoom, but I love the status conferences on Zoom. I mean, it's great content to react to. I'm not going to complain there. A video that came out of the court case is going wrong worth it. Yeah, that's true. Am I going fucking crazy? This seems insane.
that are here in our
Well,
court?
it's not that simple, Your Honor. In relation to the Jacksons, they filed a suggestion of bankruptcy almost immediately upon it arriving in California. Their cases have been an automatic stay until around May of this year. I believe there's a notice in June when that stay was lifted. Meanwhile, in January of 2024, YouTube, the Google defendants and plaintiffs got together. We agreed to dismiss the claims in the Donato case and file all of those claims before Your Honor. So we filed an amended complaint, which is what has been fully briefed before this court and was initially set for today's motion to dismiss. So as it pertains to the YouTube defendants, we collectively did that together. When the stay was lifted after May in the Donato courtroom, the Jackson defendants have counsel in that case. They don't have counsel in this case. Counsel for that case emailed.
Holy fucking shit, this is convoluted. This is more convoluted than court cases that involve fucking murders. How have you people fucked this up this badly? But Your Honor, we sent you a memo about the case via homing pigeon. Didn't you receive it? Jesus Christ.
myself and Miss Maybe and asked us if we would intended to consolidate the cases, to which we
Oh, that makes some sense. She didn't want her case held up by the other party's bankruptcy. Yeah, so Onision filed bankruptcy, like, and this is the video that I saw earlier with from Repsion, like 9 months ago, which gave some kind of stay. But oh, so you're saying that she didn't link the cases because she didn't want that to have the same impacts because of the bankruptcy case? But it seems to have had the same impacts because it's still taken them a year to get to this point, right? I don't see how that's beneficial. Fuck me.
evaluated that, agreed that that was something that we should do. And it appeared based on the communications with opposing counsel that that was an agreed position. We sent him a motion to accomplish that.
Hold
We've
on.
gone back.
I have
It
to
wasn't-
interrupt you for a second because when you have, and I'm going to especially want to hear from Google's counsel in a second, when you have two cases against all the same defendants, asserting basically the same claims in two different courtrooms, you let the judges know. You file a notice of related case. You notify the judge.
You know, the more I see of internet court cases, and I mean court cases that kind of get turned into content, the more it makes me realize just the sheer level of fucking incompetency. And like shit that like happens behind the scenes by lawyers. Like you sort of like assume that lawyers do weird shit behind the scenes to try and win, to try and get one-overs. But like, I'm just, again, it comes back to like the earlier comment I made about like people's like impressions of the professional world without being in it. And it's like, well, when you're in like corporate environments, you realize how much people are just fucking guessing. Just like, we can probably do that, right? It's probably fine. Well, strike that then, because now she is arguing against what I just said. What is he going to court for this time anyway? I'm not actually sure what the lawsuits pertain to. Okay, so actually, hold on. So this is the one. Sarah's court case. This is a civil action for damages against YouTube and its parent company Google, James Jackson, known online as Onision, and Lucas Jackson, formerly known as Lanybot, and Kai, under federal status 18 USC 1595 Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act 18 USC. Civil remedies for personal injuries and related state law claims arising from defendant's conduct when it guaranteed an agency and or profit-sharing relationship with a predator, Onision, that used YouTube to identify, recruit, solicit, and groom children and coordinate with his spouse, Lainey, to lure, entice, and solicit children for the ultimate goal of engaging in sexual activity with them. Plaintiff was one of these victims. Plaintiff respectfully submits her complaint for damages and makes the following averments. Okay. So this is like a lawsuit for damages because Onision's a creep, and they're also suing Google because they essentially provided him the platform. Is that what I'm getting from this? Am I right? Does that make sense? As I say, like, again, I have not lied about this. I am very out of touch with the Onision drama, so I don't know. Fucking, that's what I'm getting. I highly doubt he would win since Google has an army of lawyers at their disposal. Yeah, I mean, they do have an army of lawyers at their disposal. Seemingly, they're unable to file things correctly in this case, though. So, Your Honor, this isn't our fault. The affidavits we sent you via smoke signals were very clear. As annoyed as the judge is already, we will have an amazing clip of him losing it before all is said and done. Fucking based.
Just that this is going on, so
that sounds right. I can join LawTube. If I can read a complaint, I can join. Do you know what the best complaint is? Actually, the best like legal document I've ever read with internet stuff was the JF Garepi fucking stuff to do with the fact he's like mentally retarded. Like, I don't know a better way to put it. Like, actually, like, disabled partner was taken away from him by the court, and those court documents are fucking insane to read. I mean, I can foresee a lot of issues with with that theory of the case, but that's what it sounds like they're trying to do. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why going after Google if you're actually looking for like money, because Onision doesn't fucking have any. But Google's not gonna fucking, because Google surely can't admit culpability, or like it's in their interest to fight this case as hard as possible, because if the claim is being made that they in some way facilitated this and they won, doesn't that mean it sets a precedent that anybody who's like a YouTuber who does fucked up shit, Google's in some way responsible for that? I mean, I'd have to see deeper into the court documents and have a lawyer explain it to me. But that seems like something Google would be prepared to pay a lot of money not to have happen. Because I wonder if Diesel kept up with stuff. I know he has made videos on Onision before. Yeah, I remember. So like, yeah, I know that he's like pretty knowledgeable. I might poke him later.
The judges can figure out how best to utilize judicial resources in the adjudication of these cases. And if you had done that, the very moment you had done that, I'm sure that the cases would have been related, right? And by the way, let me ask you one other question. The case that's in front of me, right, that came from Michigan, was it just Sarah who filed the lawsuit in that case, or was it Sarah and Regina who filed the lawsuit in the...
I feel like section 230 of the federal code would protect Google here. I don't know. Do you want to link me what that is? Because it's one of those things where you could literally say anything, bro. You could literally be like, I think that's protected under the 14th Amendment, actually. And I'd be like, oh, good. I don't fucking know. Listen, unlike lesser YouTubers, I won't pretend I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
The Michigan case.
It was just Sarah.
Under Section 230, platforms generally have not been held liable for the content posted by users. Yeah, that's my general understanding. I know it's similar in Europe. The exceptions are stuff that is like they have to take action on things that's like fucking CP, like actual criminal stuff, removal of like violent content, and then it's dependent on country and location, like how stringent those rules are.
But Regina is a plaintiff now, right?
She is now pertaining to the YouTube defendant.
In this case.
Yes.
Okay, so that happened when you reached the agreement with the YouTube defendants to drop them from the Donato case and pursue the claims in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
That sounds a little bit like judge shopping, right? You have an earlier filed case, and then a later filed case, and you drop the defendants from the earlier filed case and pursue the claims in the later filed case. What? Why did that? Why did you?
What?
Okay. And pursue the claims in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That sounds a little bit like judge shopping, right? You have an earlier filed case, and then a later filed case, and you drop the defendants from the earlier filed case and pursue the claims in the later filed case. What? Why did that? Why did you drop the YouTube defendants from the earlier filed case and just pursue the claims in the later filed case?
I don't think any of the, I don't want to speak for Google, but just based on our communications, I don't think any of us were intending to judge shop. We felt that was how we would best proceed. Part of it was based on the fact that the Jacksons, we knew they would be eventually arriving at as part of the cases when the bankruptcy situation was concluded. They didn't have representation in the case before, Your Honor. They did have representation before the case involving Judge Donato, but we also understood that attorney may or may not be withdrawing, and we weren't really entirely clear on what the status of that.
Hold on. Just to be clear, did she actually just say, hey, we know that he didn't have representation in this one, but we knew that he did in the other one, even if we thought they might leave, but we're not judge shopping, that's not intentional. Doesn't that sound like kind of like you've implied an omission? Am I hearing that right? I feel like I feel like this is one of those times when you should probably, you know, say less, actually. Like, wait, what? Oh, this court case is gonna be fucking banging if it continues.
That was, it seemed
But
a
what does
little
that
bit
have to,
murkier.
what does that have to
And
do with anything?
As mentioned, we've had
What-
trouble communicating with him.
What does that have to do with the choice of whether to proceed in the earlier filed case before Donato versus the later filed case before me? I don't understand. I mean, if it wasn't judge shopping, like what was the reason to proceed in?
I got yelled at for judge shopping once. I may have been doing that. It doesn't sound like that here. Okay. Okay.
In the later filed case against Google.
I'm sorry, Judge, my internet is cutting out. We're in the middle of a hurricane right now. I'm located in Florida, so I'm so sorry. My thing is cutting out. I didn't hear the
Your
last.
Honor, I'm going to speak to answer on behalf of my co-counsel.
YouTube was receiving tons of information about the behaviors of Onision was engaging in, and they did nothing. That includes harassing Billy and others. The question is, okay, the question is, at what point is like YouTube stepping in for like terms of service violations? Because it's like I'm in two minds about this shit. Because yes, very clearly Onision is a fucking lunatic. And yes, very clearly, because of that, probably should have been removed from the platform. If that's the platform standard, by the way, I am very anti-deplatforming, as you are all very aware. But like the flip side of it is Google and like YouTube removes channels for like so little sometimes that like it's really hard to balance this shit. I'm just not sure that's YouTube's fault. Like you could probably make arguments that YouTube should have like more customer support and everything, and like the standard arguments of what the fuck is YouTube doing, but it's so fucking painfully difficult to balance these things, and YouTube's just not profitable. Seems like you should claim you can hear people as a tactic. You can pull a Charlie, pull you. I don't get mistrial. You know nothing about the case until now. Yeah, no. Look, listen. We can learn along together. I'll tell you what. You can fucking like. If you cover it, I'll call in and be like, I don't know anything either. That'll be fucking great content.
While she's able to get back on through the hurricane. And I will note that Your Honor had put a case management conference together, and we had moved this case forward. And I believe the goal by all of the parties involved was for efficiency of judicial resources, because this case had been moving forward, for us to go where the case had actually been. And we would have dismissed the Donato action had we been able to do so, but there was a bankruptcy stay, so we were not able to complete that. And it was, in my understanding, an effort to move to the court in which these cases were progressing.
At this point, I'm sharing the information. I remember not pushing up any. Yeah, no, you're good, Rocky. You're good. I really appreciate it. Please do. Like, I'm just giving you like how I see it. But Google not required to moderate for off-platform actions, but can ban anyone for any reason. Onision was a blind spot. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to be on like the other side of this, even with people like Onision. Firstly, because I think it's good content. But secondly, like, fuck. Look, if you're not doing something like highly illegal, and it's like not provable, and even then, like banning people from the town square, I think, is bad for discourse, and like you can see the effects of that on like platforms like Twitch, where like you can't even show banned people, where it's just like it's just not good for like anybody involved in it. It's what's killed Twitch. Same for like Twitter and and Reddit. Like those places used to be incredible for being able to speak and say things and have an opinion regardless of what that was. And the more we've like fucking like burnt that to the ground, I think the worse online discourse has become. From what I can guess, is judge shopping when you did to get new judges until you get one you think will rule in your favor or be on your side. That's my understanding of it. Evan will argue our point, chat. I think he's streaming. I don't think he knows I'm live. I'm safe. I'm safe from being shouted at, guys.
Because it had been so extremely long since the first filing date for us to move to the case where Your Honor had already heard our motions.
Are you saying that you can't voluntarily dismiss a case that is subject to a bankruptcy stay?
We could not voluntarily dismiss because we didn't want to dismiss the case entirely. We wanted to just consolidate. And because the Jacksons were in bankruptcy, we were unable, and they did not agree to consolidate over to.
Okay, but hold on. Again, doing some research now based. That's what Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might well be, but isn't the judge asking why you didn't, like, put in a notice of related cases so that the judges could decide whether these things needed to be consolidated, where the lawyers are now saying we wanted these cases consolidated, but it's like, but if you wanted them consolidated, why didn't you put in the notice of related cases and let the judges decide whether they should be consolidated cases? Because if they're basically the same case from two different locations, they've both been transferred to the same court, they're both against the same places for, broadly speaking, the same fucking thing, then the likelihood would be that they would be consolidated or at least considered in conjunction. Right? That you've not taken the actions that you should have taken for the outcome you seemingly want, or at least are here saying that you want. That seems fucking wild.
The case before Your Honor.
So now the situation is that we have, in this case, we have Sarah and Regina versus the Jacksons and the YouTube defendants.
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I wish that were the case. At this current moment, it is Sarah and Regina versus the Google defendants, and then all we have is Regina versus the Jacksons. And unfortunately, the Donato case has Sarah versus the Jacksons, and this would have never occurred had there not been a bankruptcy stay, but unfortunately, we were unable to move forward based on.
Wait, what? How did that occur? Didn't you file against, like, multiple what?
Current moment, it is Sarah and Regina versus the Google defendants, and then all we have is Regina versus the Jacksons. And unfortunately, the Donato case has Sarah versus the Jacksons, and this would have never occurred had there not been.
But wait, hold on. Didn't Sarah file against... But Sarah filed against Jackson's, like, damages against YouTube and its parent company Google, James Jackson, known online as Onision. But you filed against both, so how do you end up in a position where you're only filing against, like, you're only making claims against one? I don't know if what the judge wanted these parties to do is actually required or just desired and allowable. I have to look at the local federal court laws. New lawyer? Potentially. The fuck? Again, this is why simple law being in is good, because, like, I don't fucking, I don't know, but, like, this seems wildly, I don't understand. I don't understand how you've ended up in this fucking position. Oh fuck.
In a bankruptcy stay, but unfortunately, we were unable to move forward based on those restraints.
But
The
I still don't understand how we could have gone a year without the judges in these cases receiving a notification that there was a related case in the court in front of another judge. I still don't understand that. I don't understand what possible explanation there could be for not notifying us immediately when these two very, very similar cases were assigned to two different judges in the district. I mean, you have an obligation.
It's because of the bankruptcy stay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that argument. But the original filing that we saw before seems to be against both parties. So even with the bankruptcy stay. Oh, so did the bankruptcy stay? Basically, they filed. And then, so Sarah filed. The bankruptcy stay happened. So because of the bankruptcy stay, Sarah ended up just facing Google. And Sarah and Gina both ended up facing like a combined Google thing. And then there was like separate case against the Jacksons. So the bankruptcy stay basically split the plaintiffs. Like into like different cases. In some way, fuck. Oh, do you know? It's interesting because Onision's self-representing. But whoever his lawyer is, if that's what's caused this, if that's what's actually caused this mess, if that was his intention, his lawyer must really know what they're fucking doing to cause that kind of chaos.
Under the rules to notify us when that happens, right? And I can't imagine that we would still have two separate cases if you had notified us. So it seems like this is a real kind of procedural irregularity that we're dealing with here, and I'm trying to figure out how to solve it.
Your Honor, we are prepared to file the administrative motion. I apologize. We were under the impression we had to meet and confer. Understanding what Your Honor has said about that, we are prepared to file it today.
But the administrative motion, you file it in the earlier filed case, right?
Correct.
And you ask the judge in the earlier filed case whether they believe they will relate the two cases. So the result of an administrative motion to consider whether the cases are related would be to have Judge Donato deciding whether this case should go over to him, right? And that, candidly, that's probably what should have happened when these two cases came in a year ago, right? I mean, and then obviously Judge Donato can make his own decision about whether they are related within the meaning of the local rules. But it seems to me that that's the very first thing that should have happened in this case when the Regina case got to Donato, the Sarah case gets to me, and like the first thing everybody does is file a related case notice, and then Judge Donato could have decided whether to relate the Sarah case over to him so that the two cases could be considered together, and then you could have had a discussion.
So basically, they've like the argument here, it seems to be that they've robbed the judge of the ability to decide whether he wants to hear these cases together. Judge is mad because he doesn't want these cases. Can you fucking blame him? Would you? If you walked into work one day and you went, okay, listen, we've got some cases for you. Oh, great! That sounds good. I love a case. I'm a judge. I look at cases. That's what I do. You're like, okay, cool. So 2 women are suing Google and somebody named Jackson because Jackson is apparently, and I don't think Onision's been convicted, by the way, which kind of does actually matter. Like, actually, I feel like that's important because while, like, again, I'm not here. Well, I am here to pass judgment. I am God. No, like, this is a lawsuit, so it's civil. This is a civil case, not a criminal case, where somebody is being accused of some quite serious, heinous shit. Google has been fucking dragged into it, and it's from different states that have been transferred over to your courtroom. Do you want to deal with that? I'd be like, absolutely fucking not. I don't want to touch this. And especially, like, I think judges are becoming more aware. I think judges are becoming more aware that this shit is ending up on the internet. They're like, YouTube? And a fucking YouTuber? No! I don't want to deal with that. I don't want thousands of people watching my fucking court proceedings. Is this... Yeah, it's Northern Cali. It's a lol suit. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Like, nah, fuck this shit. Throw myself. Oh no. Poor judge.
discussion with Judge Donato about whether the cases should be consolidated.
I apologize, Your Honor, and we did file a notice of related action in the original Florida matter in Regina, and I believe this may be an error on our end, having previously filed the notice of related action, believing that we had done so and unsuccessful.
These lawyers must be fucking talking as well. Like, that must be even more fucking frustrating for the judge. He must be looking at these two going, you two talked about this, you must have done. You've got basically the same cases that you're seeing for your clients against the same people. You've talked about this, and you still did it. You both came to the same conclusion. The fact that there's no way you did that independently, and you're both sat there being like, yeah, sure, that's just what we're doing. Fuck.
Fully not doing that.
Okay, and then so now you filed a motion to consolidate the cases?
We have.
Okay, and you filed that with Judge Donato?
Yes.
And you're asking Judge Donato to consolidate his case with this case. And so that would mean that this case would be folded into Judge Donato's case and transferred to Judge Donato's docket and folded into his case?
I don't want to be unclear. Just to be clear.
Mally, I am currently at the book fair, surrounded by pages upon pages of human knowledge, and I still can't find where we went so wrong as to spawn Onision. Personally, I blame Dr. Zeus. Right, okay. So Rule 42 says that the court may consolidate cases that there's no requirement that the parties notify the court, and either the general rule or the local court rules, and it is not mandatory. So wait, are they fine? Were they allowed to do this? Or is this just... So they can consolidate. So why didn't they just consolidate? Does the court get the choice? Okay, they file the motion and the judge is pissed because it took them a year to file this motion. That makes sense. You'll begin the book burn immediately, Mally? Based. That's good cult behavior. That's how you progress in this cult. Action. Fuck, no, actually, that's a joke. That's for satire purposes, YouTube. No one do anything. Sit in your fucking hands.
Clear on the court record. In the motion, we asked that Donato's case be transferred into Your Honor's case because we felt there was more parties here and whatnot, and there was more that had moved forward in this case. So we felt.
But you filed it in Judge Donato? You filed it in front of Judge Donato? You're asking Judge Donato to send me a case?
To consolidate it into your case, Your Honor, yes.
That also is not the right way to go about it, right? I mean, the right thing to do is to to get the cases related in front of the same judge, and then you can discuss with that judge whether the cases should be consolidated. But even if you didn't do that, I mean, even if they're in front of two judges, I can't imagine, I don't know for sure, but I can't imagine that it would be appropriate to file the motion to consolidate with the judge who you're trying to get rid of, right?
I mean, it just feels like they've just been massively inappropriate with the judge and also gone to another judge to ask about this judge's cases. Just tell me to knock it off. I'm getting law. No, don't. Law. Keep going. You're holding this stream together as I fucking pick my way through this. Please carry on. And also, if you want to do something that's within procedures and the correct thing to do, you can like and subscribe to this stream. Also, all super chats, memberships, and everything else are much appreciated. Our AdSense will get sorted at some point, and we will actually be able to take money out of the channel again. That'll be nice. And I will be actually doing more membership down the road. I think I might do a Mech Warrior members stream. So there's never been a better time to be a member, or a Mech Warrior stream that becomes members only, because I'm not a total cunt. But yeah, oh my god, every time I think the attorney is not screwing up, she screws up again. So true. Burn all the books you don't read instead of showing off books you have no interest in, like President Sunday. Oh my fucking god. I refuse to. Listen. I'm not throwing shade at Sunday at the moment. He's been doing well. He's been doing well. I'm happy for him.
For lack of a better word, I know that you're not trying to get rid of Judge Donato, but you're trying to get the cases consolidated in front of me. So if you're trying to get the cases consolidated in front of me, why wouldn't you file the motion to consolidate with me? I mean, what judge is going to say, all right, I'm just going to foist this case on my colleague?
I mean, I'm looking at this case, and if I was your colleague, I'd be like, yeah, sure, fucking send it to John. He'd love to hear it. he'll be over the fucking moon. Why would you ask another judge whether? Hey, can you like listen? We like you. You're great. Can your colleague do this?
Because they filed a motion with me.
Our thought process, Your Honor, was that was the lower case number. So that was our understanding. I apologize if we misunderstood it. But I'd be happy to.
Right, but normally I would think if you're filing in the lower case number, you're asking for the later filed case to be consolidated into the earlier filed case, right? I mean, that's normally when a judge gets a motion to consolidate, the judge is being asked to fold another case into their existing case, right? The judge is not being asked to send their case over to another judge. So we're in sort of a procedural morass, it seems to me right now. And I don't know, I don't know what the best way to deal with it is. I mean, one solution is I haven't had a chance to talk to Judge Donato yet. I mean, I could talk to him about it and see what he thinks is appropriate. I mean, my initial sense.
I just imagine him walking into the other judge's office and you just hear manic laughter. Remember when you didn't invite me to your birthday party? Fuck you! Oh, don't apologize and then assume and insult the judge because he misunderstood something that he screwed up. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of the lawyers going, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, we didn't know that." I'm like, aren't you guys lawyers? Isn't it literally your job? There's fucking two of you. How did you fuck this up? These two women, they're the women who are going to take down Google. God, fuck me. Who let them file this? His tone of voice is rather defensive for a judge. I think he sounds pissed off. I can't fucking blame him. Like, I want to be really clear. I'm ripping the shit out of the lawyers. I don't like Onision or anything. Like, I fucking, like, obviously this motherfucker intended this shit to, like, play out kind of this way. Like, he's clearly filed for bankruptcy to fuck shit up. And it's worked. It's just, you should have seen it coming. Same as the Chris Hansen stuff, like, right off the bat. Like, I don't think that people walk into, like, dealing with Onision really understanding what they're gonna have to go through.
Is that the very first thing that should have happened is a notice of related case should have been filed with Judge Donato, and then he could decide whether the later filed case is related to his. If he says yes, then the later filed case goes to him. He's got both cases. Y'all can have a discussion about whether they can be consolidated. That's what should have happened at the outset, and I'm wondering if that is what should happen now. And then Judge Donato can decide, and of course he's perfectly free to make his own decision about that.
Judge, yeah.
But he can decide if he wants to relate the cases, he can, and then he can entertain the motion to consolidate that's been filed in his court in the Regina case. I think that's the appropriate way to handle this issue. I'm not. I'm happy to hear other suggestions, but that seems to me.
I don't know why, but I'm just waiting for Onision to start screaming like a maniac. Yeah, fucking. No great surprise. No great surprise. Why wouldn't he? That's like fucking half his content.
The appropriate way to deal with this procedural irregularity that we have here. I mean, did Google even know that you were filing a motion to consolidate the cases?
As it pertained to Google, we had talked to them, of course, when we agreed to consolidate their claims. As it pertained to the Jackson defendants' claims, no, we did not discuss it with Google because it didn't pertain to their claims ahead of time. We did attempt to speak to.
Well, but wait a minute. I mean, you filed a motion in front of Judge Donato to consolidate the two cases, and Google is currently involved in one of the two cases. So you have to, Google has to be put on notice of such a motion, right? When you're asking for another case to be consolidated.
So wait, so they spoke to Google but not to the Jacksons? And Google must know. Like, these two things are very linked. Like, even if the cases are like, okay, well, they happen separately and like we're linking them, like the Jackson and Google stuff is incredibly linked. It's the fuck?
Consolidated into a case that a party is involved in. The party that's involved in that second case has to be notified of the motion to consolidate.
There was a conversation, I mean, to be candid, there was a conversation. We talked to Google's counsel extensively. I can't off the top of my head tell you the exact date, but it was prior to us drafting the motion. We had mentioned to Google's counsel that we intended to potentially file this motion. Their position at the time was this doesn't really.
Wait, so they spoke to Google, but they didn't notify them of the consolidation? Ballsy.
Pertain to us because Google's position at the time was that they felt that this was going to be handled at the motion to dismiss level. They believe that their case will be dismissed, of course, and of course we disagree, but that will be dealt with when we get to that substantive motion. But as a result of that, the position that was expressed to us was.
Okay, so for people who followed this more closely than I have, is there any chance that they're actually going to get Google on this? I imagine this is going to get, like, again, it's Google. I imagine Google's just going to turn up with a load of lawyers, present a load of fucking, like, precedents and the general federal laws and be like, actually, we're not responsible for off-platform stuff. We can't see, we didn't see clear terms of service violations in the reports sent to us. We did review those reports, but what happens off, like, we're not an investigative body, and we monetize lots of people. Like, I mean, the risk of precedent is actually much higher than this, what is comparatively a very, very small court case. Like, dragging Google in is just, I can understand suing Onision. Like, I get that, but dragging in Google is just, it seems crazy to me. How did this even occur?
Was that doesn't really involve us. So it's not that we didn't ever discuss it with them at length. Did we send them a copy of the motion before it was filed? No, because it was being intended to be filed in the Donato case, of which they were no longer parties.
Okay. Was Google aware of this motion to consolidate?
Your Honor, if I may, I don't have a recollection of being told that there was a motion to consolidate coming, and I don't want to. There was some discussion earlier about us having gotten together with plaintiffs to sort out this procedural problem. That is how I would describe this. When both cases were transferred here from Florida and from Michigan, and there was a suggestion of bankruptcy, plaintiffs told us that they would like to dismiss the Alonzo claims and replead them in our case. And the only thing that they asked us is if we would stipulate to waive any statute of limitations issues. Our position was, okay, it's your case, you can plead the claims how you want. But it came about because we asked, are you going to consolidate or file a related case? I remember that conversation happening, and their answer was, we're going to dismiss Alonzo and bring them into this case. So I don't want to represent that we were fighting them tooth and nail. We weren't, but I also do not want it to be the record that we were somehow coordinating and strategizing how to put these all together. They said that this is the approach they wanted to take, and we didn't fight that because it's their case and they can plead it how they want.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Wait, is the Google lawyers basically like, why would we stop them from making a mistake? Like, they're just like, sure, whatever, do what you want. So we're not particularly worried. Do whatever the fuck it's your case, bro. I've just got an image of these lawyers turning up looking really seriously at Google. Listen, okay, we need to seriously have a conversation. And the Google lawyer's just like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, kind of just do what you want. We'll deal with it on the day. Google's lawyers should really have a better mic. They don't want to give the game away. Oh, we're just a little company, Your Honor. We can't even afford good mic and camera setups. I just don't know what to tell you. Oh, fucking hell.
Okay. But I would
motion to consolidate.
Didn't you also have an obligation to file a notice of related cases when the second case arrived and landed in my court?
Exactly, Your Honor. And notice in talking about that, that's when they said that they were going to dismiss the Alonzo claims against and bring them in. And so
the judge is like, wait, couldn't you have also done this? Aren't you a lawyer for Google? Jesus Christ.
So then the question for us was, is it still a related case if it's just the claims against the Jacksons from Alonzo against the Jacksons pending in Judge Donato's case? And I don't know that still meets the related
Why
case.
wouldn't it be? I mean, we have claims by I was using first names, and I don't have to use.
Sorry, yes, Regina and Sarah. So,
if we have a claim by Regina against the Jacksons in one court, and a claim by Regina against the Jacksons in another court, and they're the same claims, right? Where Regina's not yet in my case.
her claims against YouTube are in this case, not
Okay.
against Jackson.
Got it. So
Everything against YouTube is here in this case. So there's nothing against YouTube pending in the Regina case.
I mean,
Okay, so I take that back. These attorneys were clearly trying to judge shop. They were colluding to get the judge they wanted. Yeah, I mean, that's how it looks to me. I don't know why. Because I'll be honest with you. With this, I mean, this judge, to be fair, is starting to take shots at Google as well. So he's clearly probably quite like, look, I don't really give a fuck either way. Rather than having like any biasy. But I don't know what his, I obviously don't know what his history is like.
Which is why we would.
it seemed, if you just take a step back for a moment and use common sense, right? The point of
I'm
this,
going to be honest with you. I really like this judge. He's great.
this rule is to alert judges when there are cases with a substantial overlap pending in front of two different judges of the same court, right? That is obviously the case here.
Yeah, I agree, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, just to speak to Mr. Grizel's comments there, it is not that plaintiffs did ever intended on not dismissing any of the claims against the Jacksons in that case. We didn't intend to consolidate them into one case, but the bankruptcy would prevent that because we were not allowed to file anything in the action given the stay.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, you didn't?
Into one case. Plaintiffs did ever intended on not dismissing any of the claims against the Jacksons in that case. We didn't intend to consolidate them into one case, but the
Okay, I have a general question for the people who follow this. Why the fuck were these treated as separate cases? Why wasn't it just like, because as I remember the Onision stuff, there was a fair amount of people who could have claims of victimization. So surely for the strongest case, if you're going against something like fucking Google, you'd want as much evidence as you can of the claims you're making that this continued for a period of time. Why would you file these as separate cases? Why wouldn't you want to fucking why wouldn't you want to consolidate them? Because Onision's broke. You all knew he was fucking broke. You knew he was broke before the fucking lawsuits. For the bankruptcy filings. None of this came as a surprise to anybody. So why? I don't understand. It seems like so fucking weird to me. I'm sure there's a reason. Like, don't get me wrong. Again, I'm Johnny come lately, but I don't know. Fuck. Somebody said to me about the Onision stuff that, like, as it went on, it just got more and more fucking ridiculous and insane on every side. So I mean, maybe it's just that. Maybe that's what I'm looking at.
Bankruptcy would prevent that because we were not allowed to
Forum
file
shopping.
anything in the action given the stay.
Okay. Well, I don't think that I should have been adjudicating any motions in this case before a determination was made until about whether the cases are related and should be in front of the same judge. So what I'm going to direct you to do is file a notice of related case in front of Judge Donato. And that way everybody will have an opportunity to express their view of whether the cases are related. And if you want to file a notice and say that you don't believe they're related, you can do that. I'm not sure how strong that argument would be, but you can take whatever position you want, but it's your job to put in front of him this issue of whether the two cases are related.
There are different circuits involved here, and depending on what state you're in, the circuit might be more favorable to the plaintiff's case. So you file one in Florida, you file one in Michigan. Interesting. And how they end up in, they ended up in North Cali. I'm assuming because that's the location of Onision or Google. If I recall, both of the plaintiffs were part of the group chat created about the time of the Chris Hansen interview, so I'm surprised they didn't try filing this together with some of the victims. It's wild. Yeah, because there was fucking loads of stuff. Why wouldn't you all file? I mean, again, like I agree with Law, that it seems like forum shopping to me. I think that's a reasonable read. I was thinking that before of why we'd file in different states. Judge used DM words, you can certainly try. Yeah. Probably Google. Yeah. Well, Google's got this way to go, well, if you're gonna fucking sue us, you're gonna come to California and do it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Related, and it should have been done a long time
See, it's group
ago.
effort,
and
chat.
Google can take a position, and obviously the Jacksons can take a position. Now, this motion to consolidate that you filed, has anybody opposed that? I mean, Google, of course, didn't receive notice of it. Have the Jacksons opposed the motion?
Their attorney did indicate that they opposed it after he'd indicated he was asking us to do it, and then he indicated later that the Jacksons opposed it. They have not filed a responsive pleading or responsive motion, or response to the motion, rather.
How could they file a response to the motion when it seems like this has all happened very quickly after being like sat for a year? And wouldn't they need to talk to Google before they filed a response to the motion? Or can they do that separately? I suppose they could do it separately because it's like against their client or against him if he's representing himself.
Okay. And when is the motion to consolidate scheduled to be heard?
After Chris Hansen, I think a lot of victims just wanted to be done. They accepted no one really was really interested in helping them. Then they're smarter than most people involved in dramas. Look, okay. So here's a general frustration with things like this. Actually real talk. Because this happens with a few dramas, and you keep seeing it. And people are like, oh, I really care about the victims. That's why I'm doing this, because people need justice. They need justice, guys. And a lot of victims come forward. You're going to see this happen with the Mr. B stuff. Mark my words. Clip this, fucking hold it in your back pocket, and you can be like, oh, look, Beckett was right again. A lot of the contestants involved in like the Mr. Beast stuff, a lot of the people coming forward, you can see this with the fucking Chris Titans mods actually, and how quickly they've been fucking dropped from everyone's collective consciousness. People don't actually give a shit about victims. They don't care. They don't care. It's a very uncomfortable fact. The vast minority, like not even vast minority, the minority of people involved in any given drama give a shit. So a lot of people end up coming forward and going, I really care. Like, it's important that my story gets out. I've got people who try to help me. But you're just there to fucking fill a void. And it's really distasteful. It's one of the reasons I dislike certain dramas and don't want to cover them. But yeah, it's no fucking surprise that people don't care. How many of you can remember the other girls' names mentioned, like, to do with the Mama Max stuff? How many of you can remember, oh god, what's another one? Like, let's go back to even the ACC stuff. Can everyone remember all the victims of Lio? Fuck, no one cares. No one cares. Stop like, YouTubers and fucking content creators need to stop pretending that they care, and audiences need to stop, like, doing this virtue thing of standing on a pedestal going, I am here to defend those people. The Mr. Beast stuff's going to be over in about 2 years. That's when it will fully fucking peter out. And not one person will remember the names of the contestants. They will probably remember the names of Jake Weddle, Dogpack, and maybe Roseanne. And that's only because those people have created platforms for themselves or have pre-existing platforms where they can speak from. You know? Only Spencer. Right? How many other cases and predators did fucking Max go after? The detractors saying they're protecting people from DSP's scams. Meanwhile, no one has said they saved money because of Doodly. Also, Bro Calla himself, Doodly felt it. I don't know enough of the DSP drama. She trusted him and didn't know better. I mean, there's so much shit like that. Problem is, when you do actually care, you learn super quick. It's a nightmare and try to do anything at all. Yeah, because people are fucking YouTubers. But we're on the internet. There's nothing anyone can fucking do. I hate to say this. But the most sensible response Lio ever gave was, I tell people and help, I tell people the actions to take to go and file police responses, like police reports. That's the most sensible thing Lio ever said during any of this shit. Because calling people into calls, holding people accountable, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. Those people are still crawling out the fucking woodwork. They're trying to. Buttons turned up in my fucking chat. And got told to fuck off. Okay. Sorry, I need to scroll up a second for more law information. So the district where the defendant is located is generally the preferred district. I don't know who the plaintiff's attorneys are, but there may be a bigger story here. For years, people have been trying to get this stupid law overturned and hold Google liable. Yeah, I mean, I can see why. I can see the double edge of it. The minute you start holding platforms like liable for the stuff that's on platform, they will start banning everything. Because it's the only, like, economically sensible response. Like, anything that is slightly fucking dangerous. It doesn't just affect Google, it affects all social media. That would have impacts on Facebook, Twitter, like, fucking Parler, whatever the fuck, Telegram. I can see the reason for the law, and because it's not the same as a newspaper. It's literally a town square. It's like saying the equivalent to like a law like violating that is like if you're in a bar or something, and you as the bar owner are held responsible if somebody says a racial slur or something, or like spreads hate speech. It's like you might have it, like, there's probably a duty to report. I think you can make arguments there of like you should like if a crime is committed in your establishment, you probably, like, I can see the duty to report that crime. But to be like, hey, actually, a crime was committed in your establishment, you didn't notice? Well, you're going to fucking prison. It's a bit more of an extreme way to look at it. And, like, YouTube is so huge, there's so much content on it. The chances of actually, like, any company being able to do anything definitive is just fucking minuscule.
It's on.
Diorio said go to the police, not YouTubers, because he acknowledged he's not equipped to deal with it. Yeah. And I've said the same thing. If somebody has a really serious victim story, don't fucking come to me with it. I said this during the ACC stuff. Like, because there were people coming out with stuff and being like, hey, Beckett, can you cover this bit? Can you talk about this? I'm like, I'm not the person to do this. I'm not going to be able to like get you what you want. I'm just going to sit here and laugh at them and nothing's going to happen. You're going to feel like you were turned into content. Stop turning yourself into content. I see the reason for the law if the platforms were not actually regulating. If they were truly just platforms, then the law is good. But then Google and other platforms start banning people and taking down content when they become publishers and the law should not apply. I actually agree with you. I think that Google, Twitter, like all these fucking places, I think that they shouldn't have the ability to remove people's voices. I think unless you commit a crime and that crime is like reported, and then you're like the account suspended if it's suspected of a crime. Oh, did I get taken out by Google for a second? I might have got taken out by Google for a second. I think I'm back. I'm back. No, I agree with you. The minute they start like regulating themselves and saying they have certain terms of service, I agree with you. But I think the solution is then just to go, yeah, the town squares. People put up content, it's whatever.
October 17th.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so the other thing that I think it was procedurally improper is I don't think it was proper to file a motion to consolidate in Judge Donato's case, asking him to fold his case into this case. And so but in any event, the first thing, so
journalistic integrity, what a concept, Beckett. Listen. I can talk about this stuff because I'm not a journalist. Just a shit poster on the internet. Amazingly, what you just said is actually written into law. Unless they're committing a crime, the platform should not be taking them down. Yeah. I fucking hate all this banning shit. Ridiculous. What did I see recently? Oh, fucking... I might talk about this. Are people familiar with the like game modding scene and the stuff that's happening on on Nexus mods? Nexus mods is taking down mods that they think are racist because they've been doing this for ages. By the way, they took down a load of mods that they took down mods from I think it was Spider-Man, where they were like where somebody removed some woke LGBT stuff. And now they're taking down mods that whitewash one of the characters in God of War Ragnarok. And I'm like, look, I said this ages ago about the mods for Dragon Age Inquisition. There's a mod in Dragon Age Inquisition where you can turn one of the lesbian characters straight. You can basically force, bypass the code where that character will only become attracted to female protagonists. And I said, I personally don't use that mod. I like well-written characters to be their own things. I don't feel the need to mod that. But if somebody wants to put that mod in, it's their fucking game. They can. It's an RPG. Let them play it any way they fucking want. Who are you? Let people mod stuff. If people want to take a book and scribble out words in it and write their own words in, they can. It may be shit. It may be the experience they want. I don't fucking know, but it's their right to do that and leave them alone. And I just looked at it and I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to support Nexus mods anymore then. Fuck you. You're a hosting platform. I heard about some politically motivated takedowns on Nexus. Yeah, it's fucking utterly ridiculous. I hate that shit. You're either, and I agree with Law. It is, you are either a platform where you host people's content, you make money off that, you get advertising revenue off that, and you don't have any strong stances. You're like, okay, cool. Don't break the law. Have at it. Or you're a publisher, and I do agree there. And I wouldn't mind seeing some pressure brought to bear to stop Google, I don't know, limiting people's speech. It seems like a real basic thing. If I break the law in the UK, I will be arrested for it. But I don't need to be banned as well, okay? That's what it's going to be in the future. It's going to be me and Chud stood in a courtroom.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deny Google's motion to dismiss as premature, I guess, because we need to sort out all this procedural stuff before I do any more adjudicating in this case. And I'm going to direct you to file a notice of related case in front of in Judge Donato's case by Monday. And then everybody, the Jacksons will have an opportunity to respond to that, and Google will have an opportunity to respond to that. And I'm just going to tell you, and I'm sure I'll have a conversation with Judge Donato about this. I'm not sure, but I think that it's procedurally inappropriate to file a motion to consolidate in front of the judge.
These are the faces of two women who no longer want to be like seen under this judge. Like, maybe the other judge would be better. Oh God.
Whose case you're proposing will disappear. I think that you're supposed to file that in front of the judge whose case would be taking in the other case. Like I said, I'm not positive about that, but I think that must be the rule.
And Your Honor, since you're
And if I'm
denying,
right about that, you need to research that. And if I'm right about that, you need to fix that too, right? And it may be fixing it by just asking by saying we need to change our request. We're not asking that you send.
I don't think the other judge would be better.
That you.
I don't
you send
think
your
this court case is going
Chabria.
anywhere.
We're asking that you consolidate Chabria's case into yours.
I'm gonna level with you, and please bear in mind that once again, I am not a lawyer, but I think the chance of this court case against Google going anywhere are fucking zero. And I think the chance, so like a court case for damages against Onision, well, you have to prove damages. Now, while that's going to be very entertaining content if it happens, I don't know what that looks like. I actually don't know what that looks like. Night Law. Sleep well, bro. I think both judges are gonna be done with them. Yeah. If law, DM me if you're gonna cover this. I'm happy to help. I'll help you do some. I'll help with the research. Because this is funny. I want to see more of this.
But or you and let me just say, I don't care. I'm happy to handle the case, but rules are rules, and the rules are there to ensure that that the case is adjudicated with procedural fairness. And this, it seems like we've sort of gone outside those boundaries, and we need to get ourselves back in before we do anything else in this case.
Your Honor, I know you made a ruling about the prematurity of the MTD involving Google. Did you want to is there a similar ruling as it pertains to the motion involving the Jackson defendants, or are we going to proceed on that?
No, we're not going to proceed on that. I mean, I don't. I mean, another way to do it is...
He's literally said, I don't want to do anything with this yet. He's like, no, we're not doing anything else. Shut the fuck up. You just send me the case number or the party's names or something. I'll be able to get everything off the federal court filing system. Yeah, I'll see if I can get something together for you. As best I fucking can. It'll probably be over the weekend.
Is to keep the motions. I mean, I don't want to... The Jacksons are pro se. I don't know. It's very confusing because they have a lawyer in the other case and they don't have a lawyer in this case. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, but they're pro se in this case. I don't really want to make them refile the motions. So why don't we say that the Google motion? Let's scratch that. The Google motion is not denied. The Google motion will remain pending for now, and the Jackson motion will remain pending for now, and we'll sort out all this procedural business, and then we'll decide where to go from there. Okay, does anybody else have any comments or concerns?
Your Honor, I had a question about my counsel in the other case.
Okay.
Similar to the plaintiffs, I have had an enormous amount of difficulty communicating with said attorney due to just a non-responsiveness. I've requested repeatedly that that attorney withdraw because we don't have a current financial agreement or anything like that, and I'm not really sure about what the financial agreement even is. So we're trying to go pro se there as well, and it makes me very anxious thinking about it because I can't file anything in the other case, and with him being non-responsive, I'm very worried about these deadlines.
Right. Well, I mean,
Your Honor, my lawyer won't talk to me. I just... It's gonna be such a shit show. It's gonna be such an incredible shit show.
so first of all, I can't give you legal advice, right? Because I'm not your lawyer. So I'm sort of limited in what I can say to you. What I'll say first is that any issue, if you have a concern that there's somebody who's signed on to be your lawyer right now in Judge Donato's case, and he's not actually serving as your lawyer, or you're trying to get him to withdraw, you need to take that up with Judge Donato, right? Because that's his case. It's not my case. There's nothing I can do about it. And, you know, there has to be a way to tee that issue up in front of Judge Donato, you know, and have you had any communication with our pro se help desk?
Oh my fucking God.
Limited communication with that.
You might want to sort of present this problem to the pro se help desk and ask them for their guidance procedurally on how to tee it up in front of Judge Donato. I mean, a lot of times I'll just get a letter from a pro se plaintiff asking for some sort of relief, and we just act on it because they're pro se. We don't make them file a motion or meet a deadline or whatever. So maybe it's as simple as sending a letter to him. But I would, you know, I can't give you legal advice. I would recommend that you talk to the pro se help desk, present this situation to them, and see if they have any.
This guy needs to call me. I'll represent them. Okay, every time I try to turn on the screen, I get more intrigued. This guy can't even communicate with his own attorney. Oh, what a shit show. That would be, Lord, that'd be so fucking funny. You know, man, that'd be so good. Are you saying that you'd pro bono do it? Fuck, you should tweet at him. Listen, I'll be your lawyer. You need a lawyer? I need some exposure. I'll see you in 6 months when you have an inevitable nervous breakdown. We'll cover you coming out of rehab. Holy fuck, this is so painfully dumb.
Guidance for you.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, what else? Anything else from anybody?
Nothing else from Google and YouTube, Your Honor. Thank you for sorting and navigating through this issue.
Nothing further from plaintiffs. Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate it and apologize for the confusion that arose here through the various procedural problems.
Stay safe in Florida.
Stay safe in Florida. Oh my fucking God, this is either gonna be go nowhere or it's gonna be fucking incredible content. Alright, this has been fun. I only want to do a short stream. I only want to do a short stream going over some stuff. So I'll give you a minute for final thoughts from chat. I don't know, have a cigarette. I have no idea who this guy is. Maybe I don't want to... Okay, Law, you really don't. It would be very funny, but Onision is insane. He is like... Involvement with Onision has destroyed the lives of many, many people. Unironically. Save yourself, bro. Just cover it. Come cover it. We'll do it together. It'll be a nice join up. It's been a while since we've done anything together. Yeah, Beckett, there was a hurricane. Yeah, no, I know. I haven't looked at the weather report yet. I was actually interested in following that storm. Oh, fucking hell. Right, I'll have a cigarette. And work out who I'm sending you to. Unless someone has something else I want to talk about. Well, that's not exactly random to say. Florida man is running rampant out there. Yeah. Onision hilarious if you don't let yourself care. Yeah, it's always a mistake. Onision is also vindictive and will keep going after you for years. Yeah. God, you guys lost power? Oof. Covering it's about the choice, yeah. I mean, like, the limitation from what I can understand is don't cover it too much because he'll, like, fucking try and sue you and fucking, I don't know. One of those. Gives a shit. But the case should be interesting. I'll try and dig some stuff up over the weekend for, like, the court records and things. Yeah, I obviously everyone stay safe from, you know, hurricanes and stuff. It'll be fun. I don't know what we're covering tomorrow. It's been quiet. I've got some law stuff. I was thinking about talking about Kilroy, actually, because I've got so much Kilroy stuff kicking around. I could always talk about Rage After Storm. But if anyone has anything that's been kicking around for a couple of weeks that they'd want me to cover, join the Discord. And I'll take some submissions if people would like to submit things. I can't promise I'll cover them, but if they're interesting, I'll go over them. Wouldn't be the first time I've been threatened to be sued over covering a case. Yeah, I imagine. I imagine it's one of those where I don't know what he can actually do to you at this point. He's got no fucking money. My original channel, by the way. I'm glad that you've got it back, or at least got the name back. I'm glad that's kicking around. But yeah, it'd be fun if you do more in this, so we can like get together. That'd be fun. I'd enjoy that. And it's been a while since there's been a court case that sort of captured my eye. Bullshit, I send you comedy gold and you let it rot on the shelf. I need something that I can dig into deeper. But also, yeah, I'm terrible. I'm very random with what catches my eye. At the moment, most of my research time is going into like a completely separate story I'm putting a video together for. I got the name back, not the channel. It's a good name though. Yeah, I should have I should hopefully have a video in progress over the next week, so we'll see whether I can get that out before I have to go away. I've got a work trip week after next for a couple of days, so explain what you need. I'll DM you. Yeah, I just need something. I'm looking for interesting things to cover. There's always Chris Chan. There is always Chris Chan. Oh, interestingly, actually, fuck, there is something I wanted to tell you guys about. I got an apology. How fucking wild is that? Give me a second. I will show you. I was really surprised by this. I was pleasantly surprised. Are you interested in the Tristan Western to Red Pill Doodler? Yeah, sure, send me that. That sounds fun. The vid with Thuman was fun too. Yes, it was really fun doing the vid with Thuman. Where are we? Give me a second. Let me find this. I was really pleased with this.
It's positive. Just because a whole
I was deeply surprised, but where are the timestamps? I think there are timestamps. Right, okay. Right, okay. Okay. Right, so I mentioned on Rezi's stream, actually, that Keldoge is a very small. I said this as an offhand comment, but Keldoge is a very, very small, leftist YouTuber. Like, I think it's mostly Twitch. I think. Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't fucking. I know this is YouTube. Anyway, doesn't matter. No, it's YouTube. What the fuck am I talking about? But basically, when going over the Demon Mama coverage, Keldoge basically said that I'd taken it from like separate discords, which isn't true. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I didn't do that. I was a bit. I was just confused more than anything else. And I was like, that's just weird. But I was like, I don't know. I feel like chat was feeding misinformation, actually. One particular person in chat, who I can't remember the name of, who's a bit sweepy. They were really involved in the Xena and Poppy stuff. They haven't liked that we've gone after Demon Mama for, having a partner that sent sexual images to a fucking minor. By the way, separate before we do this, because somebody was asking for an update on the Demon Mama stuff. Let's just go to Demon Mama's channel. Let's see if it's had any impact. So if we go to her last live was 4 weeks ago when she came back from holiday 4 weeks ago. And her videos have gone from 7.5, 2.5, 2.3, 18K, 33K, 21K, going back. They're now at their Skibbity Toilet reviews. And the last Skibbity Toilet review, before all this happened, was 2.6K. The last two have been 698 and 411. So it seems that the apology Demon Mama didn't quite fucking work. I don't know. I'll take that as a win. I don't know. Feels a little bit vindicating. I'm just saying, for all the fucking gushing in the comment section, that no, Demon Mamas beat the allegations. Apparently, fucking not. Anyway. In
addition to that, I would like to issue a correction. In my video where I was reacting to Demon Mama's explanation video, which ended up being a lot worse than I thought it was because I couldn't see the screenshots in the background. I probably should have paused and read them, but I didn't because I'm dumb. I said that Beckett had gotten the two servers confused. That's not true. I mixed that up with a different situation and was not paying attention enough to say the right thing. So I am sorry, Beckett. I did not mean to slander you. I will send you a message, but just in case someone wants to send this to him or something.
That's pretty based. They tagged me. That's pretty based. I'm pretty pleased with that. If Keldoge sees this, there is in the live section of this channel, there is a 3 or 4 hour Demon Mama stream. It's in the thumbnail. It's a couple of weeks ago. I go over a load of stuff, including Chariot, including a load of the weird associations. And there's a load of the Discord DMs in there as well. I did say that I'd release the Demon Mama folder as a Google Drive, which I didn't do because I forgot. I do need to clean it. There's some stuff in there from a couple of people. Well, one particular person, actually, who basically said, hey, I'm listed in these. They're actually blurred out in the video now. And we had a chat. And I was like, that's actually really reasonable as to why you're upset. So I removed them. I don't want them released in the full drive drop either. And I just haven't fucking got around it. So yeah, but it's there. It's nice that someone can try to apologize. Look, I will not. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do that. And I appreciate it. So, I can't say fairer than that. Many people would not fucking bother. And they did, which was based. Okay, what are we doing? Where am I sending you to? What's Reservoir doing?
You say your statement, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, Rezzy's watching now recording. I'll send you to Reservoir. That's nice and easy. That's nice. It's nice and easy. Okay. This has been fun. I will probably be back tomorrow. I will probably be back tomorrow to do some stuff. And yeah, I'm not sure what yet, but I'll try and stream at 6 or 7. Thanks as always for hanging out. It's much appreciated. Thanks so much for the law stuff as well, and also picking stuff up. Beckett's sweeping. I'm not sweeping for anyone. I never sweep. No, I'm kidding. At least I acknowledge when I'm sweeping. Right, okay. Peace, guys. Go hang out with Rezzy. Go be nice. I will see you next time. Peace.